Welcome. This show is brought to you by Tanya Bennett. Visit her website at youravon.com/Tanya Bennett. Welcome, everybody, to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Nicole, Lady Extreme Carter, and you're in for a phenomenal treat. I have with me Wayne Franklin. You don't want to miss right after this.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, it starts to work itself out.
Welcome back, and I am here with none other than Wayne Franklin, producer, author, movie writer, everything. Chef, designer. I mean,
floor mopper, if needed.
I mean, being on here with you is absolutely phenomenal. You have worked on some amazing projects. We're going to first talk about urban contemporary because that's your start.
Yes.
Let's talk about urban contemporary and how it helped launch your entire career.
Okay, urban contemporary, that's my baby, right here. I wrote urban contemporary in 95, I believe, 1995, and stuck it in a box because I didn't know what to do with it, and I did it on a word processor, which is really old. I put it in a box, stuck it under my bed, met my now wife, and let her see it, and she said, "What are you doing with this?" And I said, "I don't know what to do with it." She said, "We have to figure out a way to get you published." We went to we were at the mall at Barnes and Noble one day, and she says, "Come here," and there's a sign hanging on the bookshelf, and it says, "Wrote a book, get published today." And I said, I guess that's what we're going to do. And so in 2000, I went with the company iUniverse and got the book published.
I mean, that's a major accomplishment. There's so many people who are authors who have books, have ideas, but then you took it a step further. You end up becoming a writer for actually movies.
Yes.
You've been a part of television networks.
Mm-hmm.
You're a part of a television network called IML Productions, and you just do so many great things nationally.
Yes.
So being a national, how did Urban Contemporary take you to the national market once you got it written and done?
Well, it's funny. You mentioned IML Productions. I was in church and I was in the drama ministry, and I gave one of the guys that was in the ministry came, "Wayne, I'm going to be in a movie." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." You know, we had that conversation, and he said, "And the guy that is doing the movie doesn't know how to write a movie." I'm like, "That's not a good thing. How's he going to do that?" He said, "Well, I told him about you and your book." I said, "Okay." He said, "So let me get a copy. I'll get it to him, and we'll see what happens." So I gave him a copy of the book, and that was had to be on a Saturday. By that next Wednesday, I got a call from Oz from IML, and he said, "I like your book. I want to know if you'll write my movie, and once we get done with that, we need to work on a movie for your book," which blew my mind because that's what I wanted. That was one thing I could think about. So I wrote a script. He gave me an outline. I wrote a script for a movie called Aguilar Road, which was shelved for whatever reason. No problem, but that was the beginning, and then he gave me another outline for another story called Catching Up. I said, "Can you write it? Can you write this as a short?" So I wrote it as a short. Excuse me. And then he took the short to the American Black Film Festival in Miami. He comes back and he said, I said, how'd it go? What'd they think? He said, they love it. They want to know if you can expand it to a full movie. I said, absolutely. And we expanded it and it got shot.
So the amazing thing, first of all, it's amazing on why it's needed and necessary. The book in the box turned into a full-fledged on-set movie.
Yes.
Talk about now the Wayne Franklin now that you have. That's just one of many, many projects that you've done. How does it feel now that that beautiful wife of yours kind of helped spark this national writer and everything that you do right now?
Right. Yeah, I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nicole. We're celebrating 25 years in January of 2021. And I've always wanted to do something like this, but I know if it wasn't for her, it'd probably still be in a box somewhere. And I appreciate that very much, Nicole, if you're watching.
Well, of course she's watching because she's a very inspiring and supportive wife. One of the things I do want to talk more about, your writing process, how you come about it. And that's a big step to go from a book to a movie. So we're going to talk about that. So you guys do not want to miss. Stay tuned with Wayne Franklin right after this.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering them could save you from having a stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back. I am here with the amazing Wayne Franklin. We at break we were talking about urban contemporary and then how that launched and catapulted your national career. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about urban contemporary. What are some of the nuggets in the books, like 5 nuggets that you can give from this book for people to think about?
Well, I guess my log line, which it took me forever to come up with, years, is it's a story of a successful DJ in Washington, D.C. who seems to have everything he wants out of life, and he meets the woman of his dreams 5 years after he's been married. So it's about, I guess from what I've been told, it's like a love story, not a romance novel. But it's a love story, romantic story, but it's seen from a guy's side. And a guy who's trying to be everything to everybody and is being, for the most part, taken advantage of by his wife. And he meets somebody who reassures him of how important he is, how important the things that he does, how important all those things are. But he's married. So he has inner conflict. He has to deal with, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be feeling this way. But in the end, everything comes together and it's a somewhat happy ending. But you have to read it to find out. Oh, a lot of language. I'm sorry. I was angry when I wrote it.
Well, here's the thing that I think that people have to have a takeaway. Sometimes, some of the most powerful songs and some of the most powerful things happen in some of the deepest pains.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you get what they say, the best oil out of a person. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's wonderful to see how you took this particular project and you made it a real project, because a lot of people don't see from a male's perspective. Right. And a lot of times what happens, especially women, we have a tendency when a man's struggling, we blame him before he even did anything. And this is a way that you're saying this is a man who is like loyal, and he's having these different thoughts, but he's not receiving what he needs for his purpose at home.
Exactly.
And now he's getting it somewhere else. And it's easy to begin to fall in love in that kind of way. One thing that I do love about it is that being an honest male, which I think is a voice that's needed more in the industry more now than ever before. I love how this particular book opened up the doors that you're doing nationally. I mean, it's amazing to see some of the things. Tell the audience some of the projects that you have coming up.
Okay, well, for this particular network, we're working on cooking shows. We're working on documentaries about things that I had no idea about that were uncovered. And once we found out that these things actually happen, we said, well, we have to do something with that. So working on documentaries like that, working with the company to make sure that everybody knows about the company, knows about IML and the network. I have more movie scripts that are stuck up in here, and now I have more of an outlet in order to get those things put out and produced and seen. Shorts, a documentary on my autistic son, things like that. We can get, with this opportunity, with this network, it's easier for me to release that stuff. Because for a long time, I just held it in. I was like, I can't do anything with this. I don't know what to do. Now, it just seems like from that book, like you said, from that book in a box till now, it seems like everything was lined up like this for a reason.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing the opportunities that are presenting themselves. Documentaries, which is absolutely phenomenal. Talking about your personal, having a personal life with an autistic son, and the amazing things that he's able to do, and hearing it from a father's perspective, because a lot of times you hear from the woman's perspective, and it's so good to see that. So, and IML, how many movies have IML done?
IML, I know, has done I know 2 or 3 full length, and then they've done a couple of shorts, and then they have the TV shows that they've done, things like that. And I've been involved with some of them, and I'm looking forward to being involved with more.
Well, as amazing as a writer you are, I look forward to all the great things that you're about to produce. I just am so glad you're on with us. Listen, we're going to come right back with Wayne Franklin, and you guys don't want to miss some of these great nuggets right after this.
Made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
We're back with Wayne Franklin, and listen, there's so many great nuggets that's going on. Talk about some of the additional amazing things that you guys have done.
Okay, well, I did want to explain that IML actually did 2 full-length movies, 3 documentaries, and then 57 episodes of a show called 7 Minutes that used to be on GTN, and I think GTN is called something else now.
No, well, GTN actually, and you're absolutely right, I do remember that show. GTN actually split into 2 networks. There's one that's Bounce TV and Telemundo.
Oh, okay.
So that's how GTN split. So wow, that's a lot that you've been involved in. And then on top of that, I mean, not only that, you have these books and you're a writer and you have things that you're coming out with. What are some of the nuggets that you can say to some upcoming writers to prepare themselves to actually release the book?
Okay. The thing is, it's what people used to tell me when I first started, just say, write. And I said, well, yeah, I'm writing. There's no, you have to always be writing, always be listening for ideas. For something you see in the news, you hear somebody say on the bus and go, I could write something about that, because it happens all the time, and I'll have little notes or I'll write it in my tablet or something like that. Keep at it, look up check out printing on demand. That's how I got Urban Contemporary done. It was a print on demand. Reach out to the traditional publishing houses, see what they're looking for. You might write for a magazine, You might write for websites or blogs or whatever. Blogging is really good because if you blog, it's like an online journal. So you get all that out. And then you look at it and go, should I put this out? But it's once you have it all on the screen, you say, somebody might be able to use this. That's I blog. I don't blog often enough, but when I do, I usually put something out like that and I get feedback. Say, oh, I understand, or that sounds like me. But a lot of times, I mean, you don't know who you'll reach.
Well, you're obviously reaching the nation, which is, I mean, honestly, you're talking about a successful television shows, successful book, successful movies. I mean, the movie was premiered, like you said, down in Miami, and just all the things that's going on. How can someone contact someone like you or follow you in order to connect with you all the way through and through?
Okay. Well, you can go to my website, wrfranklin.com. I have a big picture of me drinking milk. You'll see it when you get there. And I'm also on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's under Wayne the Writer. And if you just type my name in on the other two, you should be able to pull me up.
So, and then they also can get your book on that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There will be a link. There should be a link on my website to pick up Urban Contemporary. You can actually order it on Amazon or iUniverse.com. That was the publisher.
iUniverse.com or Amazon. First of all, I am so excited about all the things that are coming up with your life. Thank you for being a beautiful example of a male's perspective. We really, really need more coming out of you, and this awesome opportunity for IML. I think that that's something that's just going to be absolutely needed and necessary. Again, give your website one more time.
It's wrfranklin.com.
So again, you guys got a chance to hear from the man himself, Wayne Franklin, and some amazing tips, some amazing nuggets. I promise you, you will not be disappointed in connecting with this person on all the social media platforms. Again, we appreciate you guys listening to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Nicole Lady Extreme Carter. We look forward to seeing you guys again here real soon. Welcome. This show is brought to you by Tanya Bennett. Visit her website at My Avon at Tanya Bennett. Oh, nope, I didn't do that right. Because it's your Avon. Welcome, everybody. This show is brought to you by. Okay, let me type that. Welcome, everybody. Of course I would mess up. He's not on here. I'm singing. This show is brought to you by, I have no idea. No, I do. I'm looking at her name.